Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Wonderful to see everyone again. So happy to be back. Hope your Thanksgivings were just fantastic and full of things to be grateful for, even if what you are grateful for is that all the family is gone. Because sometimes that's part of it, and that's okay. I had a lovely time with my family. I hope you all had as great of a time as you can, but for not now, it's great to be here. It's so great to be here on Shabbat that we have a song about it, about how wonderful today is.
We do.
You can find it on page 128 if you're using a Siddur, or on the screens.
Maya Hayom Shabbat Shalom Maya Hayom Shabbat Shalom Maya Hayom Shabbat Shalom Maya Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. Ki yishmera Shabbat, yishmereni. Ki yishmera Shabbat, yishmereni. Oti lehomead beno uveni. Oti lehomead beno uveni. Ki yishmera Shabbat, yishmereni. Ki yishmera Shabbat, yishmereni. Maya hayom Shabbat Shalom. Maya hayom Shabbat Shalom.
Today is such a lovely day, Shabbat Shalom, and it's a great time to say Shabbat Shalom to people that are around you. I'm guessing you already said Shabbat Shalom to the people to whom you're sitting next. And I was always told not to end a sentence in a preposition. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it's just English. Say hi to people. Look behind you. And let me also say a special hello to Rabbi Melanie Lavav, who will be speaking to us tonight, but you're talking. Go ahead.
Maya hayom Shabbat Shalom. Maya hayom Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom.
On this day, let me keep for a while what must drift away. On this day, let me be free of the burdens that must return. On this day, Shabbat, abide. Help me to withdraw for a while from the flight
Light
of time.
Contain the retreat of the hours and days from the grasp of frantic life.
Let me learn to pause, if only for this day. Let me find peace on this day. Let me enter a quiet world this day. On this day, Shabbat, abide. For any fans of The Big Lebowski, that is one of my favorite readings. Okay, I got some nods. That's all I needed. We are so excited to have Charlotte Covey becoming a bat mitzvah in the very, very near future, in 8 days, right? Mm-hmm. It's a good season for waiting for 8 days for things. And Hanukkah jokes go better than Big Lebowski jokes. Note to self. See what happens when we take a week off? I just like all the filters gone. We're going to invite Charlotte and her family to come and light Shabbat candles, and you can find the blessing on the screen and on page 120.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu shel Shabbat.
Yishar kochachem. That means great job. You're going to stay up here for just a sec. And we're going to also invite anyone who, like Charlotte, is either under 13 or has not yet celebrated becoming bat or bar mitzvah up on the bima. I don't see anyone else who qualifies, so Dad, why don't you come over this side, Alan? It is customary to bless our children after we bless the Shabbat candles. I love having other people hold it. It makes my life so much easier. You're hired. Hey, you, asher to you, ve'yu bruchim ba'asher to you. Be who you are, and may you be blessed in all that you are. Amen. I'm going to put this in singular because there's one of you. Okay. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. May God bless you and keep you. Ya'er Adonai panav alayich v'chunech. May God's light shine on you, and may God be gracious to you. V'yisa Adonai panav alayich v'yasem lach shalom. May you feel God's presence within you always, and may you find peace. And as I love to say, this blessing is only finished when your parents seal it with embarrassing hugs and kisses. That didn't look embarrassing at all. Fantastic. Now we're going to invite you, all three of you, to grab a small cup of juice. It's all juice. We're all Jews, and it's all juice.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, אשר קידשנו במצוותיו ורצה בנו ושבת קודשו באהבה וברצון הנחילנו זיכרון למעשה וראשית כי הוא יום תחילה למקראי קודש זכר ליציאת מצרים כי בנו בחרת ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים ושבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו ברוך אתה אדוני מקדיש השבת אמן לחיים.
We're going to invite you back to your seats. You can make your seat over here, and we'll see you in a minute. We are going to continue welcoming Shabbat. As you know, the Sabbath bride is in her Shabbat mobile. This is as loud as I can go today. She is driving on, I believe, 22 is her route.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, she comes down, she sets her pace, and luckily, like Beth Shalom and Agudas Achim and we do Shabbat at just the right pace that she gets to each congregation at exactly the moment where we get to Boi Kala, Boi Kala. So and that's why I have to do this introduction to make sure her pace is right.
She probably texted you.
Let's not imply I have a direct line.
I'm just saying.
So we will continue with Lecha Dodi together.
Lecha Dodi likrat kala pnei Shabbat nekabela lecha Dodi likrat kala pnei Shabbat nekabela shamor v'zachor b'dibur Adonai echad, u'shemo echad, l'shem hu tiferet v'litila. Lecha Dodi likrat kala pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala pnei Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'necha ki mekor haberacha merosh mikedem nesucha sof mahaseh b'machshavat tchila. Lecha Dodi likrat kala pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala pnei Shabbat nekabela. Shabbat lekabela lechadodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela Ohi v'shalom ateret bala Gam b'simcha uv'sola toch emunei am segula Boi chala lecha dodi likrat kala Shabbat nekabela lechadodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Please be seated. We move now into the words of Chatzi Kaddish, found on page 144. Yitkadav v'yitkadash shmei Rabbah, ve'om hadivrach yirtei v'yamlich machutei, v'chayechon avyom echon, uv'chayedacho beit Yisrael, v'gala Uvizman kariv imeu amen. Yehi shmecha b'mevorach le'olam olam me'am haya yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitbahar v'yitomam v'yitnasi v'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal Shemei Kodesha B'richu La'ela min kol berchata v'shirata Tushbechata v'lechemata Tamiran be'alma v'himeu Amen.
Please rise as we turn to page 146 for the Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed. We continue on page 148. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, ruler of the universe, who speaks the evening into being, skillfully opens the gates, thoughtfully alters the time and changes the seasons, and arranges the stars in their heavenly courses according to plan. You are creator of day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness from light, transforming day into night and distinguishing one from the other. Adonai Tzevaot is your name. Ever-living God, may you reign continually over us into eternity. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on the evening. Baruch atah Adonai, Hama'ariv Aruvim. We continue on page 151. Wisdom and wonder, passion and instruction, story and symbol. All these things your Torah gives to us. and the more we devote ourselves to it, the more it grows and gives. What could be a truer token of your abiding love than this holiest of your works, and the living language that gives it form? Baruch atah Adonai Ohev Amo Yisrael. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed. Please be seated. We continue with the Ve'ahavta on page 154. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol me'odecha v'hayu hadavarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'veitecha uvlechtecha v'derech uv'shochbecha uv'kumecha ukshartam leod al yadecha v'hayu l'totafot beinenecha uchtavtam al mezuzot beitecha uvisharecha leman tiskeru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'tem kedoshim lelohechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti echem me'eretz Mitzrayim liot lahem lelohim ani Adonai Elohechem. We continue on page 157. In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness and peace, give us the courage to say, Adonai, there is one God in heaven and earth. The high heavens declare your glory. May earth reveal your justice and love. From bondage in Egypt we were delivered. At Sinai we bound ourselves to your way. Inspired by prophets and instructed by sages, time and again we overcame oppressive forces. Though our failings are many and our faults are great, it has been our glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in dark ages your vision of a world redeemed. Let us continue to work for the day where all nations will not be one in peace. Then we shall rejoice as Israel did, singing on the shores of the sea. Please join in singing Micha Mocha on page 158. We continue on page 160. Grant, O God, that we lie down in peace, and rise us up, our guardian, to life renewed. Spread over us the shelter of your peace. Guide us with your good counsel. For your name's sake, be our help. Shield and shelter us beneath the shadow of your wings. Defend us against enemies, illness, war, famine, and sorrow. Distance us from wrongdoing. For you, God, watch over us and deliver us. For you, God, are gracious and merciful. Guard our going and coming to life and to peace evermore. Blessed are you, Adonai, guardian of Israel, whose shelter of peace is spread over us, over all your people Israel, and over Jerusalem. Baruch atah Adonai, hapares sukat shalom aleinu, ve'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim. Please rise as we turn to page 164 for the Amidah, continuing on the even-numbered pages. Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi yagid tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu ve'Elohei Avoteinu ve'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzhak, ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, ve'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor ve'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Ve'konei Hakol, Ve'zocher Chasdei Avot V'imahot, Umevi Gula Livnevnehem, Leman Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer Umashia Umagin, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'Ezrat Sarah. Atah Gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechayeh hakol atavrav lehoshia. Mashiv haruach umarid hagashem. Mechalkel chayim bechesed. Mechayeh hakol beracharim rabim. Somech noflim verofei cholim, umatir asurim, umekayem emunato lishenei afar, michamocha bal gevurot, umido melach, melech memit, Chaye umatzmiach Yeshua v'ne'eman atah l'hahayot hakol. Baruch atah Adonai mechaye hakol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh ukdoshim b'chol yom yehalelu chasela. Baruch atah Adonai ha'el hakadosh.
We continue with our own personal prayers, either using the words on the following pages or whichever words are in our own hearts. And whenever you're finished, you may be seated. Eloheinu v'Elohei motenu v'avotenu, our God and God of our ancestors, we ask your blessing for the state of Israel and for all of Israel's inhabitants. Makor Chaim, source of life, bless and strengthen those who defend the land and ensure their safe and speedy return home. Protect them and guide them. Kadosh Baruch Hu, holy and blessed one, show Israel's leaders your path, so they may act with wisdom, courage, and dedication, and that they may be unwavering in their pursuit of peace. Strengthen their hearts, but keep them from hardening. Matir Asurim, freer of the captives. Return all those who are kidnapped safe and sound to their homes, without spilling of more innocent blood, without any more souls being tarnished by horrific acts. Baal Harachamim, Master of compassion, help us hold the humanity and the heartache of the Jewish people, while also holding the humanity and the dignity of the Palestinian people. As we are made in your image, remind us of your ways. Spread over us your shelter of peace and fulfill the vision of your prophets. They shall beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not take up sword against nation. They shall never again know war. And together we say, Amen. On page 371, with our hearts open in prayer, we ask for a blessing of healing for those in our community and our lives who are in need of our prayers tonight.
and let us say, Amen.
Tonight in our CBI community, we are thinking especially of Steve Rodriguez, Michelle Golding, Bess Holtzband, Jim Chiavarelli, Ruby Hawk, Sean Stoffler, Sandra Newmark, Joy Cantrell, Michelle Munguia, Louise Friedman, Ron Friedman, George Arnold, Joan Bursoff, Lisa Bogart, Jerry Chernow, Betty Clark, Tristan Cruz-Aedo, Ariel Krinkazi, Elaine Dond, Savannah Farmer-Perchanik, Judy Freed, Cindy Gartner, Sandra Gross-Schulman, Jim Haley, Samantha Idias, Mario Ju, Cheryl Kamen, Amy Karakin, Faraday Carmoni, Roberto Lufchanowski, Sharon O'Neill, Marianne Odom, Cheryl Pater, Gary Pico, Michael Pico, Ari Rachofsky, Sonia Resnick, Sandy Sue Seknowita, Pamela Scott, Gloria Strachey, Lauren Wyatrek, Marcia Wilson. Are there any other names for Misha Berach this evening?
Stacy Friedman. Jim Dance, Carolyn Gibbon. Marta Castle. Doris Ardito.
Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say,
All those whose names we say aloud and all those whose names remain on our hearts be blessed with a complete healing as we say together. Amen.
Amen.
We rise together for Aleinu, which is on the inside cover of your prayer book or on the screen.
Aleinu l'shabeach Adon hakol, lateit gdula liyotzeh breshit, שהוא עשנו כשומרי האדמה, והוא שמנו כשליחי התורה, שהוא שם חיינו איתם, ויגמור עלינו עם כל העולם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא, ביום ההוא
You may be seated. For those of you who heard us start Aleinu and go, hey, wait a second, we deserve a teaching tonight. And for those of you who said, oh, thank God, Rabbi Young's not teaching tonight, I have good news for all of you. We are so happy to welcome Rabbi Melanie Levav this evening from the much colder state of New York, from New York City even. Yeah, woohoo. Sorry, that sounded sarcastic in my ears. It was not sarcastic. It's New York. It's a great place. So Rabbi Levav is passionate about helping to improve end-of-life care and conversations, and represents Shomer Collective for us this evening as their executive director. Prior to Shomer Collective, Rabbi Levav served as the director of PJ Library in New York. We're big fans of PJ Library here at CBI. And Rabbi Levav has held various positions for various Jewish institutions throughout the great city of New York. And as she's also an alumna of the Wexner Graduate Fellowship, was ordained as a rabbi by the Jewish Theological Seminary. If you don't know what that is, in the movie Keeping the Faith, there's a line where the rabbi says to the priest after a basketball game that they lose, "We really have to stop playing those JTS guys. They really lower the bar." Sorry. Only in basketball, not in rabbinics. She's a certified chaplain. She received her graduate degree in social work from Columbia University, and we are very excited to learn from Rabbi Levav this evening. So we welcome Rabbi Melanie Levav. Yay.
Thanks. Thank you so much, Rabbi Young, for your warm welcome to this beautiful community this Shabbat. Our friends at Shalom Austin first reached out to me a few months ago to invite me to town to talk about my work focused on Jewish wisdom around end of life. And I'll be pleased to be speaking there Sunday morning, Sunday afternoon, and again Monday morning, should you want to hear more. Our colleague Audrey Burnett is here with us from JFS this evening, and there are flyers on the round table in the lobby. Tonight I'm going to share two stories with you. One from our Jewish wisdom and one from secular wisdom. Both are about the need to talk about life in the face of death and about recognizing what matters most in each of our lives. You might be wondering, who's this rabbi with the New York accent and why is she here talking to us about something we might not want to talk about? My work as executive director of this startup nonprofit called Shomer Collective is focused, as Rabbi Young said, on helping more people to talk about end of life more often, with less fear, and grounded in Jewish wisdom, in order to avoid the crises that happen when we don't know what mom would have wanted and she's no longer able to make the decision for herself. Our work emerged from the reality that too many of us, too many people in our communities end up in places we wish we would never know because we haven't talked about end of life early enough or often enough, and from the recognition that Jewish wisdom has much to offer on this topic. The word shomer in Hebrew means guard, as in the security guard at the entrance to the building. In Jewish tradition, the shomer is the person or people who take turns sitting with the body of someone who has just died, guarding the body from the time of death until burial. In olden days, as the kids say, the shomer was literally guarding the body from thieves or animals. Today, the shomer sits with the body so that the person who has died is not alone, providing sacred accompaniment between death and burial. That's the role of the shomer, as the soul begins its journey of leaving the body. In Jewish tradition, we understand that the soul is contained within our body while we're alive, and from the moment of death onward, the soul begins a journey of separating from the body. It's that idea of sacred accompaniment that led to the name of our organization, to evoke the image of sacred accompaniment for the living as we confront the realities of our mortality. So I'll let you in on a little secret. Tomorrow is never guaranteed for any of us. So today is a good day, as good a day as any, to start talking about or to continue talking about what matters most to us, recognizing that our lives are finite. So here's the first story. This week, in our weekly cycle of Torah reading, we're reading the famous story of our patriarch Jacob and his dream of a ladder reaching up from the earth to the heavens with angels ascending and descending. I was thinking about this idea of dreams, and I recalled a not so well-known story in the Talmud being the collection of rabbinic discussions that took place in the first few centuries of the Common Era following the destruction of the Temple in Jerusalem. Those rabbis were concerned with figuring out how to live in the wake of the destruction of the Temple, of figuring out how to go on after the way of life that they had known was no longer possible. The worship of God through sacrifices in the Temple couldn't be done. And in these many, many discussions over generations, we see mention in various places of the rabbis wondering about end of life. One story in particular, we have a question from a student to his teacher, wondering if it's going to hurt when he dies. The student asks the teacher, "Appear to me in a dream after you die," meaning send me a message through my dreams and tell me what it felt like to die. And the teacher appears to him in a dream and says, "It felt like the slice of a knife when letting blood." Now, we may no longer observe this practice of bloodletting to treat illness, but we might understand the example as one that could potentially hurt a little bit, but just for a moment. The story continues, the student asking the teacher again, "Appear to me in a dream after you die and tell me what it felt like." And the student again dreams of his teacher appearing in a dream. In this time, the teacher says, "It felt like removing a hair from a bowl of milk." Imagine sitting down to breakfast, and you notice an eyelash dropped into the milk in your cereal bowl or into the milk in your coffee cup. You can see it. You understand it doesn't belong there, and it doesn't take more than a second to remove it. The removal of the hair from the bowl of milk doesn't cause any pain. And the story continues. The teacher tells the student, "But this is what it felt like, right? It felt like a slice of a knife, didn't hurt. Felt like removing hair from milk, didn't hurt." The teacher tells the student, "If I was invited by God to return to the land of the living, I wouldn't want to do so because the fear of death is too great." That's the lesson from the teacher to the student. The experience of dying is not as bad as living with the fear of death. Now, not everyone dies as smoothly as plucking an eyelash out of a bowl of milk, but the fact that the rabbis of the first few centuries of the Common Era were already talking about how they were afraid of dying, well, it feels relatable, right? Many of us avoid talking about end of life because it's a scary topic, because somehow we've gotten the idea that if we talk about death, it might happen sooner than we want. And yet the reality is that none of us is guaranteed to see tomorrow. What might we learn from the story? Well, we might recognize that for the rabbis, it was okay to talk about their fears. It was okay to say, "I'm afraid it's going to hurt." It helped to talk to someone who had more life experience, to express one's fears, and to recognize that the fear can often be worse than the experience itself. I'm too afraid to talk about it, but after I talk about it, I might actually feel better. I see this as an example from our tradition telling us that it's a good idea to talk about end of life, to express our concerns, to identify our fears, and to do so with someone else, not to keep all of our worries bottled up inside. And here's the second story, secular story, about a doctor in Boston named Atul Gawande. If his name sounds familiar, it's because he wrote the book Being Mortal. I see a few heads nodding. And he's one of the leaders of what's called the positive death movement in this country, leading efforts to get more people to talk about and plan for end of life. Gawande, a physician, found himself in the role of caregiver for his father, also a physician. And he was talking to a friend about the challenges of playing this role of caregiver as a son in trying to help his father express his father's wishes for health care as his father's health declined. And his friend, who was also a physician, was also caring for her father, who was in declining health. And she told Gawande the story of the conversation she had with her dad that helped her to figure out how to help focus him on quality of life. It was a question as simple and as complicated as this: what does a good day look like? She asked her dad, "What does a good day look like for you, Dad, at this point in your life?" And her dad readily answered, "A good day looks like being able to sit on my couch, eating chocolate ice cream, watching my football team on the TV. That's what a good day looks like." And from that, the daughter recognized that figuring out the goals of care needed to focus on her dad's ability to continue watching his beloved team and eat his comforting foods while remaining at home. That was the goal of care for her father. Gowande heard this story from his friend and he thought, all right, I can do that. So on his next trip home to see his dad, who was preparing for a serious surgery to treat his life-limiting disease, Gowande said, "Dad, let me tell you about my friend and the conversation she had with her dad." And he did. And Gowande's dad said, "Well, that's nice for him, but for me, that's not enough. For me, a good day looks like being able to get up from that couch and to walk." For Gowande's father, the fear of losing his mobility was his primary concern. And from that conversation, Gowande was then able to help communicate with his father's doctors to make sure they understood that his father's goals for care were to remain mobile after the surgery. So I ask you, what does a good day look like? It might be something as simple as being able to see the sun through the window, or smelling your favorite flowers, or listening to music, or seeing someone you love. What matters most to you? Have you had this conversation with anyone? Why or why not? Who in your life knows what a good day looks like for you? And if it's not the people closest to you, what's holding you back from telling them? I used to open my public talks by saying that you never know if you're going to get hit by a bus on the way home from work. And on January 30th of this year, I was hit by a bus on the way home from work. I was the pedestrian victim of a hit and run by a school bus in New York City. No, they never found the driver. I was lucky to survive with only a broken leg and a concussion, a sprained ankle and torn ligaments. And today, if you didn't know any of that, you probably couldn't tell that I'd lived through such a terrible accident. I was lucky. You too may be lucky. But sometimes things happen that we can't possibly plan for. And just as the rabbis modeled for us expressing their fears and normalizing conversations about death and dying, so too can we live lives of greater meaning and connection if we take the time to figure out what matters most to us and to do something about it. Like we read of our patriarch Jacob this week in the Torah, as he was blessed through his dreams, may we too merit the blessing of seeing our dreams realized in our own lifetimes by taking the time to talk about what matters most. Thank you. Shabbat Shalom.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Rabbi Levav. As we think about how we want to talk to our loved ones about what is a good day for us, we think about those in our lives with whom we shared good days, with whom we shared bad days, and with whom we shared probably lots and lots of just boring days, because that's life. We remember those in our community for whom we are observing Shloshim. And as you hear the name of your own loved one, we encourage you to rise so that we can acknowledge you and your loss. Patty Cordozo, sister-in-law of David and Vivian Pico. Senwil Ito Pearl, father of David, father-in-law of Beth, grandfather of Eric and Samantha. And Dr. Rabbi Leonard Kravitz, my teacher and mentor. We also remember those whose yahrzeit, the anniversary of their death, falls this week. Faye Ackerman, Julia Aronoff, Marilyn Bauman, Judy Beck Avner, Rosalind Rusty Bell, Dr. Richard Bootson, Charles Cannon, Fanny Chernow, Ellie Clark, David Aaron Damey, Shirley Edloff, Marion Eisenberg, Joseph David Englander, Martin Ettlinger, Harry Galuski, Emmanuel Greenberg, Dora Hurwitz, Sam Eisenberg, Emmanuel Kastenbaum, David Katz, Jack Lebo, Helen Lelko, David Levitch, Josie Lipman, Adrian Mandel, Alan B. Mann, Wesley McGee Jr., Rose Mintz, Evelyn Muntz, John F. O'Neill, Bennett Piasek, Norma Pulverman, Rachel Pauline Rachofsky, Victor Ravel, Ollie Robertson, Sheldon Schatz, Irene Smith, May Spitz, Hyman Stein, Sadie Stern, Eliza Thomas. Are there any other names for Kaddish this evening? The memories of all of them are with us. Our griefs and sympathies are mingled as we rise as one community to give strength to our mourning friends and to stand for those who have no one to stand for them. Kaddish Yatom, Mourner's Kaddish, is on the screens and on page 598. Yikadal v'yikadash shemei rabbah, be'alma di v'rach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael, ba'agalau v'zman kariv v'imru. Yiparach v'yishtabach v'yipa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yit'alev v'yithalal shmei d'kudashah le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbachata v'nechemata da'amiran be'alma v'imru Yehei shlama rabba min shmaya v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru Oseh shalom b'imromav Hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel v'imru. May the one who makes peace in the high heavens make peace for us, for all Israel, and for all who inhabit the earth, as we say together. Amen. You may be seated. We have some hodaot, some announcements. First, I want to mention, it's not in the slides, but I have a little tiny slide. This is the flyer that Rabbi Levav mentioned that you can find in the lobby on your way out on the round table. Please grab one. It tells you the schedule of her speaking here in the Austin area. Sunday, there's quite a bit to learn. And, you're going to be out and about anyway if you're going to be, dropping by CBI for all the things that we have going on. If you're going to be here tomorrow night for cooking, you might as well come back to Shalom Austin to hear Rabbi Levav teach on life, death, and Jewish wisdom. Monday as well, Monday morning, great way to start the week, learning. Wonderful. So we do hope you join for as many of those as you can at Shalom Austin. Here, tomorrow's Torah study with Rabbi McGee, Shabbat morning services lay-led, as we do when there is no bat or bar mitzvah. Weekday meditation is happening. Some people said that they didn't know it was still happening, so now there's a slide, so it's real. Hanukkah celebration Laka dinner, December 15th. Bring your Chanukiah. We are going to light them. We're going to light, so this was asked last time, we're going to light all the candles because it's not a blessing lighting, it's a bring your light lighting. It's a let's fight the growing darkness and bring in the light. That'll be a lot of fun. Dell's Angels, do you want to do this one?
We'll meet Thursday, December 19th for a big Chanukah sing-along, 1:30 to 3 p.m. at Shalom Austin.
Climate action at CBI. There's a slide. There's a leadership course coming. Sounds good. There's a leadership course coming. If you are a CBI member, this costs nothing. If you want to learn about the history of CBI, the history of Jews in Austin, and what it is to be a leader, not just here, but anywhere. Leadership skills are transferable. We hope you'll join us Sundays twice a month, January through April. You do need to register at bethisrael.org, so that will be awesome. Lots of guest teachers, lots of different wisdom. That's the closing song. Oh, this is not the questions portion of the service. I'm kidding, Carol.
So I want to remind everybody that the gift shop is going to be open on the 15th for a
Oh, thank
So
you.
the gift shop will open on the 15th for a lovely sale. I will say there was some confusion with our gift shop this week. I guess there was some calendar that one could click on and then got invited and told to come here. And that was not right.
Oh,
But that's in the past, so November 15th.
April
Yeah.
Fools in December.
December 15th. There
December-
it is.
December
I've been corrected.
15th.
December.
During
Yes.
the Hanukkah party,
This month.
we're going to have the Sisterhood gift shop open.
So December 15th.
Get your
You can
candles
them-
there. That is
you
a
can get
whole
them
week
as you walk in.
before Hanukkah
Yeah.
and change.
Also, Hanukkah starts December 25.
Yeah, December.
Yeah.
Well, the evening of the 24th, right?
No.
No, the evening
It's
of the
actually
25th.
the evening of the 25.
Okay.
Yes.
We'll let them have their fun first, and then we'll have our fun.
Exactly.
Okay.
That's how it goes.
Okay, I get it. I like how we.
Which means
scheduled
if you're a parent who needs to purchase a present, you may not shop for it on December 25. You must shop for it before.
that. Well, we'll be on a boat, so I'll be fine.
You'll do
either
what you
way.
need to do. But if you have little children, this is a thing. It's happened
If
in
you
our
have
home.
little children, shop for them last week. It was cheaper. Let's sing.
All right. You turn my morning into dancing so that my soul might sing to you, so that my soul sing to you and it not be still. You turn my morning into dancing so that my soul might sing to you, so that my soul sing to you and it not be stilled. Oh God, my God, forever I will thank you. Oh God, my God, forever I will thank you. Oh Decca. Now I sing praises to the Holy One who lifts me up when I have fallen. And I cry to you to heal me, and you have answered all my prayers. Now I sing praises to the Holy One who lifts me up when I have fallen. And I cry to you to heal me, and you have answered all my prayers. Back to the chorus. Oh God, my God, forever I will thank you. Oh God, my God, forever I will thank you. Oh Decca. I ask that you be gracious and hear me, Adonai. I have called to you to help me, and you've supported me with joy. I ask that you be gracious and hear me, Adonai. I have called to you to help me, and you've supported me with joy. Back to the chorus. Oh God, my God, forever I will thank you. Oh God, my God, forever I will thank you. Oh Decca. You turn my morning into dancing so that my soul might sing to you, so that my soul sing to you, and it not be still. Ooh, because it's a holiday.
Holiday.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen.
Now, today is December 6th, which might be my favorite day of the year. See, December 6th, like every December 6th, is National Microwave Day. That's right. Today we celebrate the accidental discovery by Percy Spencer, who was working with an active radar in 1945 and realized his pocket chocolate bar was melting. He had a pocket chocolate bar.
A pocket chocolate, like just always?
He had, I don't know always, but it melted that day.
This works because we have a verse in dreidel where if you made it out of chocolate, it melted in your pocket.
Well, there you go.
There you go.
Percy Spencer, you heard it first there.
There it is.
Since he worked at a company that made electronics, among other things, he started experimenting with ways to cook foods safely with microwaves. While he was able to make a microwave oven as early as 1947, that 6-foot-tall, $5,000 monstrosity was not what made its way to kitchens in homes in the 1970s. That was its little sister, created by another home company in 1971, and by 1975 it had made its way to 1 million homes. Yeah. Today, microwaves are as common as refrigerators, and while I never use mine for anything more complicated than heating lunch, boiling water, or melting butter, I remember a time when we cooked most things in the microwave, a very short time. What a time saver, not just for dinner prep. It saved time during dinner itself because you had about 10 seconds to finish everything before it became rubbery and inedible. What a miracle. You can celebrate National Microwave Oven Day by enjoying some fresh popcorn or reheated leftovers. Maybe you'll settle down this evening with a hot cup of microwaved cocoa or some mulled wine. But no matter how you celebrate Microwave Oven Day, it will be over faster than you can call the family in for a hot, quick meal, not to return for a whole year. Not so for Shabbat. Shabbat will be here at CBI next week and every week, both live and online. Thank you for being with us tonight. Shabbat Shalom.
One time, a long time ago, I worked in a